Hi guys! Today I'm going to be talking about my take on ENTPs. In my last video I talked a lot about ENFPs and how they are compatible with INFJs and kind of the NE, NI chemistry and unspoken language that goes on with those types. So today I wanted to talk about another type, which is ENTP. First off, I wanted to say that thank you guys so much for subscribing. I noticed I had 100 subscribers, which is really exciting. It might seem like not a big deal to you guys, but to me 100 subscribers is just, I don't know, I'm just so stoked that that many people watch my videos, and it's just really cool. So many of you have been leaving me really nice comments, and I just wanted to say that I really appreciate it. I just feel like I've met so many really lovely people on YouTube who have just been sending me the nicest comments and saying the nicest things, and it's just been really cool to meet, I guess to be able to talk to you guys. So yeah. So yeah, ENTPs. I don't have a whole lot of experience with ENTPs in terms of knowing a ton of ENTPs. I've only met 2 confirmed ENTPs. One, I dated for 3 years, and then another one was just an acquaintance that I met who I didn't get to know very well because I moved states. So again, take everything I say with a grain of salt because this is just my experience with ENTPs. Not everything I say necessarily will be accurate for all ENTPs. You know, the thing about MBTI is that there are things that are similar between the specific type that you are, but then, you know, everyone has their own personality and the way they operate in those functions, and sometimes they look different. So this is just my experience with ENTPs. Like I said, I dated an ENTP for 3 years, so I got to know an ENTP pretty well in that time period. I'm not going to talk so much about that specific relationship, but more just my general thoughts on ENTPs. ENTPs are a lot of fun. The biggest thing that I noticed with the ENTPs is, again, that NE-NI chemistry. Just like I spoke in my last video about that chemistry between the ENFP, I find that INFJs also have this strong chemistry with ENTPs because of our dominant functions, NE versus NI. ENTPs are very intelligent types. I think they're one of the most intelligent types, personally. I don't always think that they apply themselves to their ability, but I think their IQs, personally, I think ENTPs probably have very high IQs. They're able to see so many possibilities and ideas. The ENTP that I knew would literally have a new idea about something every day. I mean, just idea after idea after idea. I mean, even in our relationship, one of the first things when he would call me was, I have this new idea, or I have this new... so they're very intelligent at coming up with creative solutions, creative ideas. They're very quick on their feet in terms of that. Yeah, ENTPs are fun. They can be very extroverted in an environment where something interesting is being discussed that they enjoy discussing. They like to debate for sport. ENTPs enjoy a good, fun, clean debate. And sometimes they'll strike up a debate just for the heck of it because they enjoy it. I noticed with the ENTP that I dated, he would love to debate. Even if he was actually more on the other person's side, he would just go ahead and debate the other side just for the heck of it. So I thought that was really funny. Like, sometimes I would hear him debate, I'm like, do you even really believe this? And it was almost like he could debate both sides. So they're very good at just like seeing possibilities, seeing perspectives. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else I can say about ENTPs. For me personally, the two ENTPs I've met, I've been super drawn to, really attracted to, obviously because I dated one for 3 years, but the other ENTP I met, I was also very attracted to. And I think it's just because of the chemistry between the NE and an I can feel that I can talk to hours with ENTPs about particular topics. Like, if it's something that I find interesting and the ENTP finds interesting, we will be off in a corner somewhere talking about it forever. I mean, I remember going to, like, we were with a group of people, and this is before I was dating that particular ENTP, and it was like a whole party was going on in the room, and the two of us were absorbed in the conversation. It was like everything around it mattered. It was like this conversation was so interesting, so fascinating. I love talking to ENTPs. They're such good conversationalists. I tend to be drawn to people that are very intellectual, that I can have intellectual conversations with, because, like I said, INFJs, we're not really into talking about shallow sensory stuff, and neither are ENTPs. So I find myself being drawn to ENTPs because they can have very good intellectual conversations with me, and it's just a blast. Like, I love talking with ENTPs. They're so, they offer a lot of different perspectives than what the INFJ can see, because INFJ, our NI, like, we more, I don't really know how to explain NI other than we can see possibilities, but we're able to narrow them down, or we can be focused on one possibility, whereas ENTPs, they can see all possibilities in all ways that one of those possibilities could work, whereas that the INFJ is a little bit more rigid, and we're more maybe focused on one thing at a time, or I don't really know how to explain it. I'm probably going to do a separate video just on the NI and NE functions, because it's a lot and it's kind of hard to explain. So I'll probably talk about that in my next video. But yeah, I don't know what it is about ENTPs. I'm super attracted to ENTPs romantically. Like, I've only met 2, but the longest relationship I've had is with an ENTP. They're a lot of fun. ENTPs really help INFJs. They really bring us out of our shells. They help us experience new things. ENTPs love to experience new things. They love adventures. And I found it a really fun dynamic to take, because INFJs can, at least I can get rather bored with people and relationships, and I find that ENTPs keep me on my toes more than any other type does, as far as like romantic relationships. They're always showing me something new. They're making me, they help me look at things in a way that I would probably never look at them. But then at the same time, an INFJ can offer ENTP some very interesting NI insight. I know that when I was dating the ENTP that we were constantly showing each other things from new perspectives, and it was extremely interesting. And a lot of times INFJs and ENTPs, their process to getting somewhere looks different, but yet they end up at the same point a lot of times. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I remember, being on the phone and like we're trying to figure out something, and like his thought process of how it would work would be this like all around like crazy process of just madness that I didn't really understand. And where I'm a little bit more like structured and narrowed, and I would come to a conclusion like that, just like kind of point on, whereas the ENTP would like go through this crazy insane like rabbit trails processing, and it would be like take him like this long process, but then we would both still end up at the same point. So it's interesting kind of how our brains work. They work differently, but we somehow end up on the same conclusions a lot of the times. Not really sure why that is. There's just like this innate chemistry between INFJs and ENTPs, in my opinion. I don't really know how to explain it. It's I don't know why there's such a chemistry. I think it's the way our function stacks work, and also that we both like exploring ideas. We both like figuring out things intellectually. ENTPs definitely don't think INFJs are weird, in my opinion. I feel most comfortable around ENTPs. I feel like they get me. It was actually quite disarming when I first met an ENTP because I wasn't used to people quite understanding me. I kind of have like layers that I put up as an INFJ that like I'll slowly kind of peel away once I get to know a person, but the ENTP was just able to see through a lot very quickly, and it like really threw me off guard because I'm not used to types being able to figure out some things about me as quickly. The same goes for me in terms of when I meet someone, I very quickly understand them and kind of not fully have them figure out, but I have a good sense of who they are very, very fast. With ENTPs, it was harder for me to figure them out, which I think made me become more attracted to them because I wasn't able to initially be like, I have you figured out. ENTPs really keep INFJs on their toes, and I think INFJs really keep ENTPs on their toes. So I think we work well in romantic relationships because we don't really get bored with each other. We're constantly like figuring out new things about each other. So yeah. What else can I say? I feel like there's just so much on this subject with ENTPs that I could make like an hour video. So it's hard to make this short. What else about ENTPs? ENTPs help loosen INFJs up. I find that their type really helps calm me down. They have this very, like, I will be really stressed about something, and they have a way of just kind of giving me a different perspective and me being like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. And they really help INFJs kind of calm down, kind of help loosen up, and then INFJs really help ENTPs stay grounded. I think we really help ENTPs with their ideas as well. Like, I'm someone who likes to implement ideas and see them come to life, and ENTPs more like to think up ideas. And it's not actually that they want to see that idea go through. They just thinking of ideas themselves gets them excited. So they don't necessarily have to follow through an idea, and most of the time they don't follow through on their ideas. But they love just the act of thinking of idea is thrilling for them. So I think ENTPs and INFJs are a good combo because INFJs, we like ideas, but we like to, if it's an idea that we really like, well, we want to see that idea implemented and we want to see it through. So I think INFJs and ENTPs can be a good team in terms of that. Like, an INFJ will take an ENTP idea and think of ways to make it come to life. What else? ENTPs have an inferior FI, but we both have FE, so we're able to connect on that level with our FEs. We both don't really have good FI, so that can be sometimes a weak point in ENTP and INFJ relationships. We both don't have a strong sense of what we're feeling. I think INFJs maybe do a little bit better, but it's still not that much better than the ENTP. We both have TI. We're both in intuitive DOMs. There's a nice balance between our extrovert and introverted functions. The thing about ENTPs is they're not like ENFPs. They're not super extroverted. So they can still kind of like chill back and hang back. And dating the ENTP that I did, like there's a really good balance of like going out and hanging out with people and then kind of doing our own thing at the same time. So there just seemed to be a really good balance there between our I and our E. And there were times where I think we maybe were holding each other back in some areas where he'd maybe want to be out more with people and I'd want to be in. But for the most part, like, that was pretty balanced. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else I can say about ENTPs. They're really funny. They have kind of this like blunt kind of sense of humor. They're rather blunt, but I don't really mind it. I think it's kind of funny. They they have a lot of insight into things that's similar to the INFJ, but really different. I think INFJs impress ENTPs with our insights, just the way that ENTPs impress us with their ideas. What else can I say? I might make a part 2 video of this because I feel like I have a lot to say, but I'm forgetting some of the topics that I want to talk about with ENTPs, so I might do that. So yeah, this is all for this video. I'm sorry, it was very unplanned and I rambled so much about ENTPs. But I'll probably do a second video on them and have my thoughts a little bit more clear, but this is just kind of my initial reactions to what I think about ENTPs. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm trying to do these videos more regularly, more like weekly now. So I hope you guys enjoy and I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Bye!